exciting here. Trading fast signals, how to actually trade fast signals with automation. So this is an article by Quanti Macro, and I was interested in diving deeper into what he has to say as he recently got into crypto, and his sharps are insane. You can see 42 sharp, 15 sharp here, and it looks like he was in the other markets prior to this. So, let's read, let's learn every single day. I just try to learn more and more because I follow this process every single day. Research, backtest, implement is my RBI system for automated trading. And I try to show you everything because I believe that if you know everything I know, you can go much, much further than I can, bro. So I'm gonna show you everything that the RBI system and process of automating your trading starts with research. So I'm researching right now, and then I go back to see if the things actually work in the past. If they do, they're not guaranteed to work in the future. Don't overfit them. And guess what? They're probably more likely to work in the future than something that doesn't work in the backtest. So that's why I go ahead and I follow this same system every single day. Research, backtest, implement. Okay, let's do some research, dude. Shout out to this guy. I'll make sure the link's in the description. I'll put it in there right now. I'll put it in there right now just in case you don't want to listen to my poor reading here. I'm going to be putting notes up here. I got my note sheet and I'm just going to learn. Trading fast signals, multi-period trading at home. He said my biggest dub so far. Okay, yo, friends. I think I might have had my biggest W at work so far. Wow, okay. Watching the market, that's weird. It has happened like that at least 6 times in the last 2 weeks. Run some tests. Damn, there might be something here. I swear, Corey has a podcast that mentions this. He has. I swear, Seth has some tweets about this as well. He has. There's definitely something here. Runs final checks. This thing can save us around 8 to 15% of T costs. Boosts our sharp by 15%. If we spend more time on this, very likely it can be more. My PM was stunned when he saw it. Welcome back, my friends. At work, I have way more L's than dubs, so given that I somehow managed to secure a dub, I think it deserves an article. And dude, that's the name of the game, and he knows that. But I don't know if you know that. I had somebody tell me one time, damn, I don't think this automated trading stuff works. I backtested 10 ideas and only one of them worked. Well, that's a dub to me. You take more L's than dubs, and that's how you get dubs, dude, and anything in life. Okay, nothing here will be proprietary. I will just go through what happened, which Corey's podcast episodes were helpful, which Cephalo Pod tweeted helped to figure things out, my thoughts and challenges when implementing it. All of this are public knowledge. I'm not here to write some novel top G secrets. Not that I have any. I'm just writing about what others have said before and passing it off as something I discovered myself to appear smarter than I actually am. Let's get it. It's easy to find signals, hard to extract profit. According to macro, whatever the fuck your name is, finding predictive signals are not that hard, especially if they are not profitable after transaction costs. We can easily work out the correlation between signal and returns and use that to express beta as a function of correlation, volatility, and forecast horizon. So this is his correlation. The key insight is that it should be easy to find signals that are not profitable, and if you take trading costs into account, since you won't be able to action them anyway. If we require that even a 3 standard deviation signal is unprofitable, then we can bound the correlation. So if you have a very fast signals that are not tradable on their own, what can you do? Trade a lot of them. Our friend OXF actually had a tweet about combining signals and how it can overcome a transaction cost, but it's sadly gone. But the idea is just that there is strength in numbers. There might be strong enough to overcome TC after combining them, transaction cost. And there's also netting effect between the signals. Edit, our friend OX graciously sent me his thread. Okay, so very good thread to extend this. All right, we're gonna dive into this, dude. We're gonna go deeper and deeper. This is the thread.
Back at it again,
Sidebar.
Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4. Right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up.
Very good thread. To extend this, signals have positive correlation with future returns are still useful, even if they don't surmount transaction costs on their own, because they lower volatility and costs when combined. I will show this via simulation. Correlation between your signal and future returns is an important metric in quant trading. But what is a good correlation? Here's a simple way to think about it. Here's our setup mathematically. We'll take normally distributed returns for convenience, end signals, C time period, C average cost, percentage, row average correlation between each signal and true return. This generates sample true returns and signals matching our target correlation. In code, we have the following. For simplicity, assume we only hold a position within each time period and C represents round trip costs. Then we calculate net returns of each signal as the cumulative product of the signal times return less cost. Here is example code with 1,000 time periods, 100 signals, 10 BPS of transaction costs, and 5% average correlation of each signal to return. Here is an example run. We see that 45% of the signals are individually profitable after transaction costs, but the combined signal is profitable. And its volatility is approximately 1/5 that of the average volatility of the signals. If you had each of these signals from the start, you wouldn't know which to trade ex ante. But ex ante. Okay. But a valid ex ante decision you can make is to weight all of them together so you still benefit from their diversifying effects and your transaction costs and returns. Note that I didn't impose a constraint on these signals pairwise correlation where each other with each other. These results would be improved if signals were approximately orthogonal or even negatively correlated. Orthogonal. Dude, I'm gonna get so smart over here. Please do the same with this word. I'm about to be smarter than you, dude. I'm about to be smarter than you off of this stuff, dude. 777. Come on, come outsmart me. In everyday language, orthogonal means completely unrelated or independent. It's when two things don't affect each other or have nothing in common. For example, the weather outside is orthogonal to how well you did on your math test. Gee, dude, if it's cold outside, you know I'm gonna be cold. I'm a cold ass in math class. All right, let's just keep going. Let's keep reading through this because orthogonal, schmonogonal. There's a good little sidebar there.